The internet just went absolutely wild. Soulja Boy vs NBA Youngboy, face-to-face for the first time in years. Leaked footage is everywhere, but who really got caught off guard, and who came out on top? This isn't just another feud, it's a full-blown generational clash, old-school showmanship versus new-school streaming dominance. Months of Instagram live rants, subtle shots in songs, and viral memes have all led to this explosive moment. Fans are picking sides, Twitter is on fire, TikTok is blowing up, and everyone is asking the same question. Who's really fake, who's really scary, and who actually won this legendary showdown? Stick around, because we're breaking it all down. Things have officially blown up. One day it's all talk about almost getting clapped, and the next, people are online acting like nothing happened. Are they actually going to settle this, or is it just endless back-and-forth drama? Soulja Boy has spent months targeting NBA Youngboy, mocking his Stop the Violence campaign, ridiculing his nail polish, and threatening to pull up. And now the internet is erupting over leaked footage that allegedly shows Youngboy catching Soulja Boy completely off guard, with no security or crew around. This feud has been simmering for over a year, from live stream rants to street rumors, and it looks like it has finally reached a boiling point. But how did it start? And why are two rappers from totally different eras suddenly clashing over respect? The streets are buzzing, the internet is on fire, and this drama isn't cooling off anytime soon. Pause for a second. Who's really fake, who's scary, and who even won? This beef didn't just explode overnight, it's been simmering for years, and the backstory is wild. Two of hip-hop's biggest internet personalities are now colliding in what might be the most viral moment of 2025. And this isn't just about a leaked video. It's about ego, generational clashes, and careers built entirely on online drama finally crashing into real life. To get it, we have to rewind to late 2022. On one side, there's Soulja Boy, the self-proclaimed internet rap pioneer, and he's not wrong. He blew up with Crank That in 2007, mastering viral marketing before most even knew what Twitter was. He's loud, brash, and we'll never let you forget he was first. On the other side, there's NBA Youngboy, one of the most streamed artists of this generation, with a fan base so devoted it borders on cult-like. Hailing from Baton Rouge, Youngboy has faced countless legal battles, served house arrest, and still dominates the charts straight from his living room. Two artists from totally different eras, worlds, and backgrounds. And now, after years of tension, their paths have finally collided in a moment the internet can't stop talking about. By late 2022, NBA Youngboy was operating on an entirely different wave from most of his peers, both in terms of his personal growth and his approach to his career. After enduring years of legal troubles, multiple shootings, and intense street beef that at times threatened to end his career altogether, Youngboy began projecting a message that surprised a lot of people. A message of peace and personal responsibility. He launched a Stop the Violence campaign, encouraging his fans, many of whom grew up in environments similar to his own, to stay out of trouble, avoid the streets, and focus on their grind. For a man whose early career was shaped by chaos and conflict, this was not only a strategic move but also a mature, almost unprecedented step. It signaled growth, reflection, and a recognition that longevity in the rap game required more than talent. It required wisdom, focus, and discipline. It was a new chapter for Youngboy, one that demonstrated he understood the power of influence and the responsibilities that come with fame, particularly in a genre that has historically glorified conflict, bravado, and confrontation. However, the rap game isn't exactly designed to reward maturity, especially when the players in it have spent decades thriving on drama, attention-seeking antics, and the maintenance of a street cred image. Peace initiatives, no matter how well-intentioned, are often viewed with skepticism or outright disdain, particularly by older rappers who interpret any sign of calm or restraint as a signal that someone has gone soft, lost their edge, or become disconnected from the essence of what hip-hop represents. This was the environment that Youngboy's message entered, a space filled with spectators ready to critique, judge, and, if given the opportunity, ridicule. And it was precisely in this climate that Soulja Boy re-entered the scene, bringing his larger-than-life personality and unapologetic attitude to the forefront. Soulja Boy, never one to shy away from controversy or the spotlight, chose one of his infamous Instagram live sessions to make his presence felt. And when Soulja enters the chat, it's never subtle. He didn't just casually comment or drop a quick jab. He went all out, delivering a full-scale verbal assault on Youngboy's emerging philosophy. He mocked Youngboy's anti-violence message, framing it as soft and out of touch with the reality of the rap game and street culture. But Soulja didn't stop at the message itself. He zeroed in on symbolic and aesthetic choices, ridiculing Youngboy for wearing black nail polish and other stylistic expressions that, in Soulja's view, represented a departure from the traditional masculine persona associated with hip-hop. These seemingly minor details became ammunition in a larger argument about authenticity, toughness, and credibility in a genre that has long equated image and demeanor with legitimacy. Beyond the aesthetics and messaging, Soulja positioned himself as one of the last straight rappers in the game, someone who still promoted beef, violence, and raw, unfiltered confrontation. His rhetoric painted a picture of a cultural guardian, a pioneer holding the line against what he perceived as a new generation that was straying from the foundational principles of hip-hop. Every word, gesture, and rant was designed to assert dominance, remind audiences of his legacy, and challenge anyone who dared to adopt a different approach. It wasn't just a personal attack, it was a public assertion of philosophy, a statement about the values he believed the genre should uphold. The energy surrounding this moment was electric. The streets, social media platforms, and rap fan communities lit up instantly. Clips of the rant circulated rapidly, comment sections exploded with debate, and the lines between entertainment, cultural commentary, and perceived threat began to blur. Fans of both rappers were drawn into the chaos, picking sides, analyzing every word, and speculating on possible consequences. Memes were created, screenshots went viral, and every aspect of the feud became fodder for discussion across platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. In many ways, this was a textbook example of internet-fueled drama in modern hip-hop, a combination of personality, generational tension, aesthetics, ideology, and the amplified power of social media, all colliding to produce a spectacle that was impossible to ignore. At the same time, the scene highlighted a fundamental shift in the way hip-hop operates in the 2020s. While Soulja represents the era of showmanship, spectacle, and virality, Youngboy represents the new model of consistent engagement, streaming dominance, and direct fan interaction. Soulja thrives on dramatic statements and bold public gestures, using live videos, rants, and viral moments to maintain relevance. Youngboy, meanwhile, demonstrates that influence no longer relies solely on grand displays, sustained output, authenticity, and the ability to navigate complex personal and professional landscapes are equally, if not more, effective in building and maintaining a career. The clash between the two wasn't just personal. It became symbolic, a manifestation of the tension between two eras of hip-hop and two distinct approaches to success, fame, and legacy. In sum, by late 2022, Youngboy had carved out a space for maturity, reflection, and consistency, signaling a shift in his personal approach and the broader expectations of his audience. Yet, in the same time frame, Soulja Boy's explosive presence served as a reminder of the older generation's enduring influence, his insistence on authenticity, and the persistent cultural belief that conflict, confrontation, and drama are essential to maintaining credibility. Together, these dynamics created a perfect storm. An environment where a simple anti-violence campaign could be interpreted as weakness, a fashion choice could be weaponized as evidence of inauthenticity, and a live Instagram rant could dominate social discourse for days. The result was a chaotic, charged, and thoroughly engaging moment in hip-hop history, one that showcased the collision of personal growth, generational tension, and the endless spectacle of internet-fueled celebrity. Soulja Boy didn't hold back. He went hard at Youngboy for wearing black nail polish, calling him fake and claiming he'd gone soft. In hip-hop, questioning someone's authenticity is basically throwing down the gauntlet, and the streets noticed immediately. Social media erupted. Youngboy's 4KT fans ready to defend their king in the comments, and Soulja supporters backing their OG for speaking his mind. But Youngboy didn't bite right away. He stayed focused on his music, his positive messaging, and stacking streams, and that silence only fueled Soulja's fire. For someone like Soulja, who thrives on instant reactions and viral moments, being ignored is worse than a direct diss. The tension simmered for months, with Soulja popping on lives to throw shots while Youngboy kept grinding, classic new-gen style. Ignore the noise and focus on the bag. But then came the turning point, May 2023, when the beef took a new, explosive form. Both NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk announced album drops on the same day, and that's when the stakes went through the roof. When Youngboy and Lil Durk both announced albums to drop the exact same day Soulja Boy planned to release his, Soulja took it personally, and then blew up on Instagram live like a man who'd been pushed too far. What followed wasn't a casual rant but a full-on takedown. He accused them of stealing his shine, called them fake and scared, dragged up the nail polish digs, and challenged Youngboy outright. vowing to pull up the second that ankle monitor came off. He painted Youngboy as a studio gangster hiding behind house arrest, insisted he'd been first at everything in internet rap, and made it clear he meant every threat. Social media caught fire as Soulja alternated between venom and bravado, daring the new generation to meet him in the real world and turning a chart-timing snub into a personal, and very public, call to arms. Here's where it got really wild. Instead of responding with threats or beefing back, Youngboy hit Soulja with the ultimate disrespect, a simple tweet saying, "Nice to meet you, too." That's the kind of move that cuts deeper than any diss track, basically telling a self-proclaimed legend, "I don't even know who you are." As expected, Soulja went nuclear, hopping back on Instagram Live even more heated, railing about how Youngboy disrespects pioneers and how the new generation doesn't honor the people who laid the groundwork. From that moment, the beef transformed into a full-blown generational war, old school versus new school, pioneer versus streaming giant, legend versus modern superstar. Fans went absolutely crazy. Twitter exploded with memes, compilation videos of every time Soulja claimed he was first went viral, and Youngboy supporters flooded the comments with streaming stats. TikTok wasn't far behind, breaking down every rant, clipping moments, and fueling the algorithm. Chaos everywhere. Soulja himself admitted he wasn't hating on Youngboy personally, it was just the energy of the fans and the disrespect he felt that made this feud so combustible. And yet, despite all the tweets, rants, and online threats, nothing physical ever went down. Youngboy was still on house arrest, Soulja was doing his thing in LA, and for a moment, it seemed like this was just another internet beef destined to stay online. Social media trolls and meme culture only added fuel to the fire, with fans editing pics, dropping cryptic ratios, and stirring up chaos, but the streets told a slightly different story. Rumors swirled. Soulja was dead serious about catching Youngboy off guard, while Youngboy's crew was supposedly waiting for him to get off house arrest to respond. Months passed with sporadic flares, Soulja going off on Instagram, Youngboy dropping subtle, unnamed shots in his songs about clout-chasing legends, but nothing concrete happened. For a while, it seemed like this drama might fade like most rap beefs. Loud online energy, entertaining live streams, and a whole lot of chatter without real-world consequences. But everyone knew the real climax hadn't arrived yet. Then 2025 hit, and everything changed. A video started circulating online that made the internet literally stop. Allegedly, it showed NBA Youngboy catching Soulja Boy completely off guard. No security, no crew, just him surprised in the moment. Now, the authenticity is up for debate. Some say it's 100% real, leaked from someone close to the camps. Others think it's edited, AI-generated, or taken out of context. The footage is grainy and short, with barely any audible dialogue. But what you can see is clear. Two figures resembling them in a heated confrontation, pointing, exchanging words, and then one walking away while the other looks frustrated. The streets and social media immediately went wild. Fans zoomed in to analyze locations, body language, and even gestures, debating who won. Youngboy's supporters said he handled it like a real one, didn't run, and kept it moving. Soulja's fans claimed their OG finally caught him face to face. Both sides were claiming victory from the same ambiguous clip. Predictably, the aftermath was chaos. Both names shot to the top trending spots on Twitter for days, every hip-hop media outlet picked it up, and the story dominated streams, memes, and breakdowns across platforms. I was confused like everybody else. The internet was wild, WorldStar had the clip on their homepage, and people kept speculating about what really went down, but neither Youngboy nor Soulja immediately owned the moment. Youngboy stayed on brand, silent, posting his usual content and acting like the chaos wasn't for him. Soulja, predictably, did what Soulja does. He jumped on Instagram Live and went off, neither fully confirming nor denying the footage but promising the truth will come out, calling Youngboy out for hiding behind house arrest and taunting him about stepping outside. His rant was equal parts threat and showmanship, painting the new generation as disrespectful while maintaining that mystique. The streets and feeds ate it up. Some saw Soulja's performance as proof he'd been checked, others read Youngboy's quiet as the strongest response. Either way, the story kept simmering. Heat on the timeline, questions in the comments, and two very different reactions from two very different stars. The tension only escalated because no one knew what was real and what was hype, and in the age of social media, that ambiguity is pure gold. It keeps people talking, keeps both names relevant, and fuels endless engagement. Other rappers started weighing in, too. Older artists sided with Soulja, emphasizing respect for pioneers and criticizing the new generation for being too comfortable disrespecting legends, while younger artists rallied behind Youngboy, pointing to his streaming dominance and how he built a career without needing validation from the old guard. The generational divide in hip-hop has never been clearer. This beef became more than just two individuals. It's a proxy war over how success is defined in modern rap. Soulja represents the first wave of internet rappers, a pioneer who thrived when virality was revolutionary and a single YouTube hit could change your life overnight. Youngboy embodies the streaming era, where consistency, authenticity, and constant output outweigh one-off viral moments, and direct access to fans via platforms replaces traditional media. These two models of success, showmanship versus grinding output, clash in real time. And the beef is essentially a collision between two visions of what it means to dominate hip-hop. At the end of the day, neither Soulja Boy nor NBA Youngboy is strictly wrong or right. They are just products of completely different eras, operating under completely different sets of rules, expectations, and cultural norms. Soulja Boy came up in a time when going viral was revolutionary, when the internet was still figuring out how it could change music, and when a single YouTube video or MySpace hit could launch a career overnight. He thrived on showmanship, spectacle, and creating moments that the internet could latch onto. Every post, every live, every stunt was a calculated move to dominate the digital space. NBA Youngboy, on the other hand, represents a generation that measures success differently. For him, it's not about one viral moment, it's about consistent output, maintaining relevance, and building an almost cult-like fanbase through streaming platforms, direct engagement, and constant music releases. In his world, the algorithms are the new gatekeepers, and loyalty is measured in plays, monthly listeners, and how fans show up day after day. In other words, what works for one doesn't necessarily make sense for the other, and judging them by the same standards is like comparing apples to jet engines. The leaked footage, real or fake, edited or authentic, ended up becoming the perfect symbol of that generational clash. It was a visual representation of everything fans and observers had been debating for years: old school versus new school, pioneer versus innovator, internet showmanship versus grinding consistency. The moment carried the weight of years of online drama, subtle disses, Instagram live rants, and social media commentary. Suddenly, the argument that had mostly existed online had a supposed physical manifestation. And whether the footage actually captured a genuine confrontation or was a cleverly edited or AI-manipulated clip became almost irrelevant. What mattered was the perception, the storytelling, and the conversations it sparked. It was a digital age gladiator arena where ego, culture, and algorithmic amplification intersected, and the audience couldn't get enough. What's truly wild is that this entire scenario did exactly what both artists likely intended, even if indirectly. In today's media environment, visibility is everything. Their names have been trending non-stop. Streams of both new and old songs have skyrocketed, and fans are rediscovering older tracks as the online debates rage on. Social media platforms are buzzing. Memes are circulating, reaction videos are going viral, and discussion threads on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok are exploding with commentary, jokes, and speculation. Every clip, every screenshot, every subtle diss becomes fuel for engagement. In a sense, the beef itself is a product, a piece of content that drives attention, engagement, and even financial gain, whether through increased streams, merchandise sales, or social media influence. Both Soulja Boy and Youngboy have mastered the ability to feed this machine, intentionally or not, by existing in a space where online attention and street credibility coexist in a delicate, high-stakes dance. Now, some might ask, does it even matter whether the footage is real or whether one of them won the encounter? In the context of this beef, the answer is surprisingly simple: it doesn't. The value lies in the conversation itself, in the cultural energy, in the debates and reactions that ripple across platforms and communities. Fans on both sides claim victory, creating endless discussion threads and heated arguments. The ambiguity is what makes the situation so powerful. It allows everyone to project their own narrative, to choose a winner based on personal allegiance, interpretation of body language, or even just preference for one generation over the other. In that sense, the video's authenticity becomes almost secondary, because its impact is measured by engagement, not by factual accuracy. In the age of internet culture, perception often outweighs reality, and the storytelling around the footage has become a cultural event in its own right. This beef, at its core, represents something much bigger than just two individuals trading insults or threatening each other online. It's a generational moment that crystallizes the tensions between how hip-hop used to work and how it operates today. On one side, you have Soulja Boy, the first wave of internet rappers, the pioneers who leveraged new technology, social media, and viral marketing to create legendary careers. On the other side, you have NBA Youngboy, the streaming-era superstar, a man who has cultivated an empire through relentless output, authenticity, and direct engagement with fans. It's a clash of philosophies: personality, performance, and spectacle versus consistency, output, and algorithm-driven influence. Each represents a different blueprint for success in hip-hop, and the audience is watching closely to see which model resonates more in the current cultural climate. But the beauty of this situation is that there are no real losers. By drawing attention, dominating trending topics, and sparking conversation, both artists have already achieved the ultimate goal: relevance, cultural impact, and engagement on a massive scale. The beef has elevated their profiles, reminded fans of their legacies, and even brought older tracks back into circulation. It's proof that in the modern era, controversy, attention, and cultural dialogue are just as powerful as record sales, streams, or awards. In fact, in many ways, the drama is a performance of its own, a carefully orchestrated, or at least masterfully exploited, piece of entertainment that bridges online fandom, street credibility, and generational debate. At the end of the day, this entire saga, whether fueled by real events or internet exaggeration, has become a cultural touchpoint. It shows how the evolution of hip-hop has created new dynamics for how fame, respect, and success are negotiated. Old-school pioneers like Soulja Boy navigate the world of instant virality and algorithmic engagement differently than modern streaming superstars like Youngboy, and the collision of these approaches creates moments that are unpredictable, chaotic, and endlessly fascinating. And in the process, both artists remind us why we care about hip-hop's culture, its personalities, and its ongoing evolution. Because it's not just music, it's a reflection of the way fame, attention, and influence operate in the age. The beef itself, the mystery of the footage, the debates over who is real or soft, all of it is part of a larger story about hip-hop, generational change, and the power of narrative in shaping culture.